Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is GC Performance here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about slamming your stem and whether or not you should do it. We'll talk about the pros and cons of it and kind of get into everything. So before we do that, I got some examples here. I'm going to go into MS Paint. We're going to get crazy with it. I'm going to talk about whether or not you should do it. I always get the question, or even when I'm selling a bike and I'm showing someone a new bike and the stem's all the way up, they usually say, oh, well, I see my buddies who ride it, or I see pros who ride it, or they always want to slam their stem to get it somewhere looking like this. So we'll go ahead and talk about that and pros and cons to it, benefits, and should you do it or not, because a lot of times you shouldn't, but everyone sees it, so then they go ahead and do it. But yeah, so let me, and let me know what you guys think about my hand cam and my keyboard cam. Maybe give you something else to focus on besides just my voice. But let me just get my keyboard out of the way. Video coming up on this soon, Ceramic Speed versus SLF on here. This is the new LSPW, so stay tuned for that. Make room for that. Sorry, just gotta get to my keyboard. Oh god, I wasn't prepared. Airy shoe. Oh jeez. Okay, so I got the keyboard here. Let's get into it. I've been getting this question a lot. They want it. They obviously aesthetically, and there's a reason for this. Even when you look online at different pictures online of different bikes, we can do Specialized. Oh no, hold on. Specialized Tarmac SL7. Usually when you look at pictures on bikes, they're usually always slammed. Even like here, like for example, this right here. Slam stem. Aesthetically, it looks better. So, in terms of what I'm trying to get at, we got the situation here which I want to bring onto Paint. So we're going to do this right now, actually. Paint. And we'll go ahead and make this here. What you're doing when you're lowering your stem, the idea is that you're getting more aero and more leverage over the pedals. Ignore this, please, right now, because that doesn't make any sense. But what you're typically doing when you're lowering your stem and your spacers, you can get a negative degree stem. You can flip your stem from stack, because usually from factory or whenever someone builds a bike, they usually have in a +6 angle when it comes stock from there. Usually what happens is when you lower your stem, you're gaining more aerodynamics and you're actually going lower. And the benefit to going lower when you go, I'm channeling my inner hand beanie, so please don't crucify me for this. When you go lower on a situation like this, you're gaining more leverage over the pedals too. God, bro. You're gaining more leverage over the pedals. So when you go lower, you typically tend to bend over more, which would then give you more leverage over the pedals going this way. That's why when you go from your hoods to your drops, you're gaining more power. But in certain situations, pros can do it, riders can do it, or I'm sorry, enthusiasts can do it. There's freak athletes out there, like my buddy. He rides with me, Chris. He immediately, when he got into the sport, he's been an athlete all his life. He automatically flipped his stem and slammed it all the way and cut it, just because he sees Peter Sagan and all these other pros doing it. So he wanted to be like that. His body adapted to it. You can get to it. But typically, when you're doing this and you're slamming your stem and you're cutting and you're putting your stem to a negative angle, it doesn't always lead to watts, 10 watts, 20 watts, 30 watts. It all depends on your body and how comfortable you are in terms of hip flexibility. So if you're not flexible, let's say you have really tight hamstrings, if you can't touch your toes when you bend over, if you have a larger stomach in the way, what can typically happen is when you go ahead and bend over to push that power, one, you're going to get a sore back, but two, also, when your knees are coming up and down, up, down, and your body's more bent over, like I can't touch my toes physically, so I can't have my knees go into my chest. Pretty much like your cadence, your RPM, right where your hips are, that will get burnt out. I think your hip flexor will get burnt out super quick, which will cause you to blow up and burn out. So if you take a bike that has a stem that's up here right away, and then you go ahead and drop it significantly down 40 mil stack and flip your stem, one, you're going to get really bad back pain. You're going to get probably some trap and shoulder pain as well, maybe some tricep pain, because of the fact that you're doing such an extreme. And it's not, everyone thinks it's just 40 millimeters. It's not the end of the world. Like my body can do it. But you have to think, you're putting out your on these group rides you're doing, or whatever you're doing, you're putting out your maximum effort, your extreme heart rate. You're almost maxing out your heart rate, these typical things. So your body is exerting itself to the fullest. You're fatigued, you're tired. So you're exerting every single muscle you have. So this can cause where you get muscle pains, cramps, you're breathing wrong, your heart rate goes too high. And when you're in an uncomfortable position, that's how you hurt yourself. Just like working out. If you're working out and you're very tired and you're overexerting yourself, you're doing the wrong form, this can lead to back pains. This can lead to, I mean, in extreme cases, herniated discs and stuff like that. So there is a downfall to it. Now, if you do it slowly, let's see if I can do this. Undo. How do I undo? Undo. You know what? We're just gonna do it again. Don't save. Boom. If you do it slowly, okay, bear with me, and you do gradual changes to your bike, okay, if you start at 40 mils and maybe it's at an upward angle and you flip your stem, you go slowly, okay, cool, maybe that's too little, maybe you go down 5 millimeters or 5 millimeters here, that's fine. Your body will adapt to that. The first couple rides you're always going to be sore. It's like anything. If you do biceps curls every single day for whatever kind of days it is, and then you immediately change it to a different form, that next day you're working out different muscles, you're going to be sore no matter what. So don't think of it as a negative right away. If it's excruciating, obviously go back to your fitter. But if you flip your stem, you drop those little angles here and there, yeah, maybe a middle ground for you is good. But if you're just not a flexible person, you're never going to be comfortable on the bike and that flip stem. And you're going to get a lot of hip burnout. You're going to get a lot of lower back pain. And typically for the riders that are usually doing this, they're enthusiasts who want to get into the sport and they see their pros and they see their favorite athletes on there and they want to make their bike look like theirs. But in that case, they're weekend warriors. They're people who ride once a week, once every 2 weeks. And your body isn't adapting enough and you're not on the bike for that long. Pros can do it because they're on the bike every single day. They're flexible. They do core strength training. They literally put in miles. They're probably on the bike 300 to 275 days a year. So their body is used to it. It's like anything. So those little small things, they get that out of the way right away. They're flexible in the hips. They're flexible in the hamstrings. It's positions that they're used to. Me and you, however, or me and whoever I'm talking to in this video, you're not going to be comfortable. You might be the weekend warrior. You might be super on for 4 days, 3 days out of the week, maybe for a solid month, and then life hits where you have a bad day at work, you have a bad week, it's crunch time, you go on vacation, you come back, you get back in that position, and your hands go from being in the hoods to all of a sudden your hands being back here at this little U-bend. That's just because, again, you're tight, you're not used to it, you didn't stretch. This is going to happen. So if you do have this drastic stem drop and you cut it all the way, then you're screwed. But if you want to do these small incremental adjustments, I know you can't even see the stem anymore, but if you want to do these small incremental adjustments, 5 millimeters, 10 millimeters, and you leave those spacers on top so you can try it out and you get used to it, then I'm all for it. But there is no way that you get a negative angle, no spacers, that you're automatically going to get 10 watts, 20 watts, 30 watts. I don't know even where I got this picture from. I think it was from Google Images, but yeah, right here. I just thought it was crazy. But that's my take on it. I've done fits for it. I've turned people's stems over just because aesthetically they wanted to do it, and I told them not to, but they, it's their bike at the end of the day and get used to it. Yes, if you flip your stem and you're kind of an athlete or just somewhat athletic and you do normal things and you're younger, your body will adapt to it the more and more you ride. But keep that in mind. You have to keep a solid core there, or solid state of what you're doing, and then your body will get adapted to it. If you flip your stem and you ride it for 2 weeks, you're uncomfortable, you switch it back, you're gonna be uncomfortable again. You need to have a straight basis and keep it there. I think so hot. But yeah, see, like that. When you flip your stem like that, I mean, this guy's probably an enthusiast. He's gonna get used to it. But I'm telling you, it doesn't always work out the exact same way. You're only as aero, and you're only only going to gain as much power and be as aero as possible for as long as you can stay aero. If you can't stay aero and you can't stay down lower like that, then you're going to burn yourself out. It doesn't make any sense. So, but let me know what you guys think about this video. Thank you so much for checking out. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. If you think it sucked, leave a comment down below. But and if you enjoyed this camera setup, let me know down in the comment section. We have 10K giveaway coming up soon. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully you guys are too. But thank you again, guys, so much for everything, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.